Alright guys, today I'm going to be installing the foot controls for the Torqeedo. I just recently upgraded from the 403 to 1103, so a lot more power. I made some little temporary ones for my first little run with it, guys, just with some rope and some little loops to make my feet control it from steering a little bit. Didn't work terrible. I just want to make some a little more permanent and a little easier and nicer looking too as well. So definitely gonna upgrade it to the foot controls. I did watch the Innovative Sportsman's video on it, so I go with the select as well, foot control. Of course, I didn't have to buy their kit because I already have most of the stuff ready at hand pretty much, besides the select. I had to order those offline, but I got those pretty quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that. I went to Lowe's and bought some 1/4-inch tubing. Yep, 1/4-inch tubing, guys. It was $5 for 25 feet of it, so it wasn't too bad on price at all. Only need about 8 feet or so per side. So guys, like I said, I got the tubing from Lowe's. It's like 1/4-inch. This little end cap slides over. Actually, you can buy this little end cap from Hobie too as well. These are the exact same parts they use for their tubing for their rudder and. So nice clean look to the kayak. So I'm gonna install that pretty easily. But like guys, like I said, I'm not doing much different from the guys that did the Innovative Sportsman install, so not taking all the credit for this one, guys. Of course, the hole they used was, I think, 3/16. This is definitely a bigger hole going inside the kayak. This is going to be a 21/64. That's only because this little cap adds a little bit more to it, so I can't just go 1/4-inch. So I have to actually add enough for this to actually fit through. And I already tested on a piece of plastic I had left over from another kayak install I did. So it actually works out pretty good. It's a little snug fit, so it should keep the water out for me for the most part. And I'm actually gonna do one full piece of tubing like they did. So if I was to get water coming in the back, it'll just stay in the tube and not go into my kayak as much. So, all right guys, like I said, I already had the 1103 installed on the kayak. I did a few little minute changes to it as far as tweaking it, as far as the motor and everything for drop down. But it's already installed in the boat. Worked fine as 2 weekends ago when I used it for a few hours. No big deal. I upgraded to the Innovative Sportsman's metal steering cable, or steering rod. So all I gotta do is drill my holes, just like they did there and there for the foot control tube to go through the kayak. So I'm gonna do that next. Once again, guys, don't forget to save these little pieces, because if you ever have any kind of holes in the kayak you want to patch up, scratches, same color as your kayak, guys. Really easy to melt and make it pretty much match right your kayak right there. So I'll keep those pieces for later. Do the same thing on this side over here now. Low OCD, guys, so I keep measuring it over and over again, rechecking. So going on this small little slit right there, guys, gives a little bit of angle to kind of go around that way. Same thing here, gives a little angle right here to go right this way to your steering. It never hurts to check inside the hole too, guys, but I've already know what's in there really. So in case you don't know, guys, there's 2 screws on this side of the sidewall that holds this foam in here up. Okay, you might have to remove that to get this to feed through sometimes for you. I don't have the wire trick. There's 2 pieces of foam. One goes here, one starts here. So it's hitting this one right here and causing it to back out on me again. Okay. All right, guys, so we got that finally. Just take this little thing right here, slides over it. Okay. Plugs right in. Slide the thing back over. And just push it on in so it's nice and flush. I might have to go in here and help hold it up a little bit because I got it a little snug on me. I don't want to drop it in there. Of course, I just did like I did right there. Alright guys, well yesterday was a bust, so I gotta come back in here and redo this because I ended up cutting it a little too short and I couldn't get it back out of there. I'm not sure if it was because it was too short or if there was something that it was stuck on, maybe a little piece of bungee or cable for the rudders maybe that was just making it cause, but when I went to try and put the little cap on there, it slipped back on there and fell back out of the kayak on me. So I'm gonna redo this. I'm gonna start from this side, this whole way down that way, at least I can reach the back end a little bit better while I try and put that on, so I can at least hold it in place. But we're gonna have to redo this, guys. All right guys, now I got it ran from there to there inside the kayak. I'm just gonna go ahead and actually put my hands inside the kayak, make sure it's not over any kind of cables that might kind of get in the way, especially like my rudder or my skeg and my steering mechanism over here, but it should be good. So still have a little bit of play, guys, right there. So I just cut it pretty flush with the kayak right there, guys. This inserts over. And now this little thing will pull out to the edge. Just like that, and plug it on in. All right guys, one side's done. Now I'm just gonna repeat the same thing to side number 2. All right, so what I'm doing, guys, I'm just taking this fiberglass rod I have right here, feeding this on a few inches, and using that to pull it through. All right, guys. I had to redo it a little bit because it was over my wire, kind of wrapped around that wire a little bit, so I redid that little spot. But definitely looks good now, feels good in there. Alright guys, now my tubing is all done. All I gotta do is now run the wires or the line through each tubing and then tie it off. It can be a little tricky on the very ends. I might have to pull these out a little bit to get those little pieces out because of the way that fits in there, but I got enough play at least to pull them out a little bit if I want to. So I'm going to hook up the select foot control pedals for it, so it'll glide very easily, so I can steer the control motor with this. I'm doing pretty much the exact same install they did for the Innovative Sportsman, so it's nothing super engineering from my side. I'm just pretty much copying what they did. Looks a really good clean install too as well. So I'm going to be using the Hobie atrial mounting assembly. So it has a little small spot for a screw to go right through and bolt. I'm also going to be using the Yak Attack 9 degrees Mighty Mount adapter as well. Of course, I'm also going to be using T-bolt and the wing nut to help hold it in place. I can easily take this on and off if I want to for events that don't allow trolling motors like the Hobie. That'll be a quick, easy install for that. And then of course I just had some extra bolts and stuff laying around the store. Of course, black, just make it nice and clean, and of course a lock washer. And some more stainless steel night eyes, carabiners. So really not much to it, guys. Like I said, just like Innovative Sportsman. And of course I'm going to be using the Hobie 700 Spectre line. So same stuff Hobie uses for the rudder controls and all their kayaks, pretty much. But nice stout stuff. So, and that will go through the the tubes already installed. So let's get it going. So I'm going to be putting the Yak Attack 90-degree adapter on here with the T-bolt. And just like this guy said too, I'm going to put it as far up here as I can. Trail mounting. Just brainstorm, guys, because if I put it this way and bolt it on this side, it's just long, so I can't actually unscrew this if I want to unscrew it later on very easily. You can always find me a smaller bolt too. It's not going to be as long, but just the way the this wing nut works on here, it definitely makes it a little harder. Alright guys, one side down, one more side to go. Also about two guys, this bolt's just too long, so if I want to unscrew it, I can't actually unscrew it either. So it's, I guess, not really a bad thing, because it does help it not come unscrewed and loose on me at all. So it's definitely a good solid connection. But so I just got to do a little more work to take this thing off if I want to. Just a little taller guys, so I might end up bumping this thing on something like this almost, just to give me more leg room up here. Because really, my feet just sitting in the seat, I just kind of went and checked on the kayak in the store. They land about right here anyway, so I definitely need a little more leg room to have a little more reach. But yeah, it's probably something like this for me, or I'm gonna install that exactly. Like I said, it's a little trial and error for me, guys. I'm still kind of playing with it, see how I like everything to kind of fit. But yeah, it's definitely looking like it's gonna be up here a little more. But so we're going to bump this one up here just to see how it fits. So another thing I think about, guys, too, is the pedal will hit right here if it's too close to that. So you get kind of, like I said, a little trial and error for me, guys. I'm just kind of playing with it, seeing where might be a good spot for it. So depending on how far you have this from here, helps raise up a little bit more to get over this as well too. So I might have to keep that closer by. Just give a little more elevation right there. But I mean, if I just bump it up a couple inches, guys, because here's the first part of the track, here's where I have it now, so I even have it somewhere right here in the middle maybe. Should be fine. Like I said, I just got long legs, so I just want to make sure I can do this comfortably from the seated position. So like I said, a little trial and error, guys, but we're going to figure it out. Alright guys, so I already took it upon myself to go ahead and move these back a tad bit, just so I'm talking about trying to do it on camera. So really quick, moved it back, you can see about right there, about 3 or 4 inches. It's about an inch from the opening up here where the gear track is actually on the kayak. So it's about an inch from there on both sides. So it's a little further up, just so I have a little more room in my legs to reach it. And it should work out pretty good. Now what we gotta do is run the wire through the tubes and tie it. I'm adding a little S carabiner on the end of this one. I know Innovative Sportsman, they tie directly to it. I'm gonna add a little S carabiner in case I want to actually remove these off of there when I'm not using the motor some situations. Just so it's not on the kayak or in my way or anything like that. Which it really won't be in my way too much, but I can easily take it on off, especially if you take off at least the foot part. So it's not there messing with my rods. I'm gonna have the rods laid there on top of the boat. I'm switching between rods often. I'll still have the cables, everything ran inside the kayak though, but at least it'll be off, not in my way or anything. So that's what I'm doing, just adding a little S carabiner to be able to remove that pretty easily. But I can't use the motor. But yeah, guys. So now we just gotta run the cable through the tubes, and like I said, I'm gonna have to kind of maybe pull that tube back out back there and get the little insert that's inside the tubing removed so I can get that cable to actually run all the way through it. Possibly might be in my way a little bit. So I'm going to feed my wire from here, going all the way back. So as I mentioned, guys, you got to pry this little thing here off a little bit. Like I said, let's make sure slack in there. I pretty much just pop that little insert out just so I can get that wire to feed through a little easier on me. Alright, feed that through. And of course, since I'm using this little system, I need to feed this back on there. Alright guys, there's plenty. So I'm gonna leave more slack back here towards the back where the motor's at. Less up front, just so if I need to have anything repaired, I'll at least have extra rope back here. This end is tied to this carabiner. Whatever knot you prefer to use can be used fine, guys. It's no big deal. So that one thing I want to do is I want to try and tie my knot close here, so I don't have a bunch of extra loop here, just for it to get messed up with my steering or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep it kind of close because I don't have a whole lot of room. Of course, Innovative Sportsman went to the next spot further back by the rudder pulley. I went to the spot by the kickstand, so I lose a few inches of extra space there. But like I said, I got to put mine a little further forward too, so mine's a little further pushed up forward because of my longer legs. So it shouldn't really matter too much. Just make sure I tie this knot nice and close to the carabiner. Quick little knot, guys. Hook that on there. I'll just pull my excess slack back out the back way over there. There it goes, one side down. One more to go. Okay. Push it back in. Alright. There we go. Like I said, guys, just tie a knot back over there and then we'll hook all this up here in a few minutes. Alright guys, for the back, I'm doing the exact same knot that Innovative Sportsman did, you know, just to pull it here, loop it over, pull it back, and just start twisting real nice, and then you put your tag in through there. So that's all I'm doing. Plus, it's a good way to hold some extra slack up in case you ever need some extra wire on the water. Alright guys, I'll make a quick little trip. It's cold this morning. Looking out of the truck, rearview mirror said it was 25 degrees here. So we got a little bit of a below freezing stuff here down here in Louisiana / Texas. I'm at Louisiana Bend today. So, I can try running this motor, see how this motor works, guys, with foot control steering. Everything's on the boat. I pretty much got it decked out just to have it like a tournament day almost. Just to see how it runs and see how everything feels with it on the boat too as well. So we'll see how it goes. It should go pretty good though. I've already ran the motor once before I had the foot controls, or at least the legit foot controls, and it worked fine there, so should be a little smoother today. Also guys, see how cold this water is for next weekend for the Hobie tournament. Hobie Bass Open on Southwest Bend next weekend. So I'm going to use it there, but let's get to test it today a little bit, maybe run some water, see what the water temperatures look like. Like I say guys, air temp is 25 this morning when I got the truck. It might be up a few degrees by now, but I don't think it's going up much at least because it's still pretty chilly. But we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, you don't really lose that cold. Got the breaking ice right here. It's pretty chilly, guys. Alright guys, a little run action in here, see how it turns and stuff. Looks good, guys. Good test run. So it works fine, guys. One thing that happened was my steering cable got spun on me somehow. So I gotta tighten it down a lot more, make it nice and snug, but hey guys, it works pretty good. So back to drawing board on the steering cable. Steering triangle at least, but let's go do a little fishing real fast. If we can't find something out here a little bit, head back in. Ooh, caught a fish, guys. Guys, it's not much, but hey, nice healthy fish. Right there, a little creek swing. Alright guys, well, truth be told, my steering triangle did not come loose and spin on me. The knot just kind of slipped a little bit, so it made me uneven, so I just had to retie the knot up here on the foot controls. And I'm back in business, really. Only caught one fish so far, guys. Playing around back there a little bit. I might look over here real fast just to look at it down here, and head on back in and call it a day. Get back home.